Mr Chair.
I call Materia Turai.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I want to just acknowledge the contribution made by Chester Burrows, much of which I agree with, and it was an excellent history of this legislation. One of the most serious threats our kids face is violence and abuse, and so we must maintain and strengthen the protections in law for children, including in the Crimes Act, as Sue Bradford worked so incredibly hard and successfully to do. So I want to have a look at the more broader issues, look at the status of children in Aotearoa today. Just how are our kids actually doing? Well, internationally, very poorly indeed. New Zealand ranks 29th out of 30 countries in the OECD for child health and safety, almost at the bottom. Out of 30 OECD countries, New Zealand is ranked 21st for infant mortality, 29th for measles immunisation. 15% of all children in this country live in poor households. 31% of children in this country live in overcrowded homes. In households that suffer from food scarcity, BMI tends to be higher, and children are suffering from poor nutrition and those long-term health impacts. Hundreds of children change schools every Monday because their families live in overcrowded and insecure housing, and that change of schools is undermining their education and leading to future underachievement and low incomes. On other international scores, New Zealand is fourth to the bottom of all OECD countries for injury deaths amongst 1 to 4-year-olds. New Zealand has 14 times the average OECD rate of rheumatic fever, has rates of whooping cough and pneumonia 5 to 10 times greater than that of the UK and the US, and has 4 to 6 times higher the rate of child maltreatment death than OECD countries with the best result. 4 to 6 times higher rates of child maltreatment death. So the truth is that our society treats our kids really badly. Too many of our kids live in miserable housing, suffer significant illness and third world diseases. Our kids suffer terribly from accidents and worse, from deliberate maltreatment at the hands of adults. Now, knowing all this, and it's easy to find this out, the only solution that the ACT Party proposes is to remove some of the meagre legal protections that our children have against grown-ups who hit kids. That is the ACT solution to poverty and inequality suffered by our children and their families. Make it legal for grown-ups to hit kids. That is their solution. That kind of political leadership that can invest so much effort into legislation that will increase harm to children is perhaps an indicator of why our kids are doing so badly. So much more has to be done than spending time, wasting time, on legislation like this. We know that if we reduce the gap between rich and poor, address the issue of inequality, we can raise the living standards and well-being of all New Zealand children. Reducing the gap between rich and poor is good for everyone in our society, not just the poorest. So let's spend our time dealing with that, shall we? How about we guarantee the essentials for every New Zealand child so we can guarantee them the opportunities they need? How about we make sure that every child has a warm, dry, secure home? Let's build homes for the 300,000 kids who need it. That would be quite a good use of our time. Let's eliminate the discrimination and income support that the children of beneficiary families suffer. Let's give the poorest families that extra $60 a week. That means that working families get. That extra $60 a week for the poorest families means that they don't have to choose between paying the rent and paying the power bill. Mr Speaker, let's stop wasting our time on bills like this that seek to injure children and instead build a society that treats our kids with the respect and the dignity they deserve. Kia ora.
Speaker, I call the